Welcome back, guys. Still working on Emily's truck right back here. So when steering, it has a lot of oversteer, so I checked the tie rods and they're crap. Let's fix it. And if you're just learning about this, tie rods are these guys right here, and that is what connects to your rack and pinion, and when that pushes forward and backward, it's what turns the wheel. And these bushings right here wear out pretty quickly. They should be tight, and you should not be able to wiggle it like that. So we're just going to do an easy fix here. And first things first, we're going to get the wheel off, and then we'll start banging these out. As you can see, I already loosened the lug nuts a little bit. I like to do that before jacking it up. And then you just jack the car up. You can do that with the jack that came with it. If you got one of these floor jacks, makes it a bit quicker. Don't forget to throw a jack stand under there. And definitely put your parking brake on. You don't want this rolling around while you got it jacked up with your wheels off, because it could fall off. And now that we got the tire off, first thing you want to do is just loosen this bolt right here. It's a 7/8 inch wrench, and you just come up here and make sure that is loose. A little bit from there. This bolt right here just helps tension this, so once you have it screwed in, you can tighten that bolt up against the end of your rack and pinion so it doesn't screw in or screw out, basically. And then now we're just going to hit this with the impact wrench. There we go. Now that we have that, this little guy is going to have to punch through here. So first thing I'm going to do is just put some penetrating oil on it. And since I'm getting rid of this one, and it doesn't matter if this one gets damaged, that's where a nice big mallet comes into play. We'll just whack this. There are some tricks. We'll see if this works without even lubricating, but one of the tricks is just to hit the side of this, and sometimes that will break it free. If not, maybe we can, oh, there we go, just one little tap and it's good. So now that we have that out, a good idea now is we know how far this is in, okay? And we don't want to throw off the alignment too much, because if this is screwed in more or out less, then that's basically going to change the direction of the wheel when your steering wheel's straight. So if you get an OEM part that matches and has the same number of threads to the end, this is what will come in handy, is you just count. So as you unscrew this, we'll just do 1 rotation, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and it's out. So now we know that the new one, when we screw it in, we just want to screw in 20 turns, and that will be roughly the same length then, and we don't have to worry too much about the alignment being out, at least to get it to the shop to get it aligned. And now that we've got the new one, save this nut right here, and then you just screw it on to the same depth that it was before. Then we simply screw it in, and it's pretty easy peasy. We'll just get that screwed in there, trying to do this one-handed. And once that is touching, there we go. Then we just take our safety bolt off. We'll line that up against the bottom. Now, one thing you may need to do here, just because the new one, you can see that's really hard to move. I can't even move it. So we can turn the whole wheel to get that lined up. See if I can figure out a way to do this. So we just turn the wheel, line it up through the bottom, and then you can move it a little bit that way to get it up. And once it's in there, just take your safety nut then and screw that on the top of this. Oh, I guess you can't see. Screw that on the top of the bolt sticking out there. Then we'll just go ahead and tighten her down. Make sure that you don't have your settings on your impact wrench too strong, because you don't want to snap that. Oh, you know what? I had the wrong size socket. Okay, now that we have this screwed in, we've got that punched through, and we're just going to tighten this down. I do it low, and then we'll switch to a medium tightness. Just make sure that's set in there. And the last thing to do is it comes with a little pack like this. Let's see if I can get that without glare. You've got your little cotter pin and a grease fitting. The grease fitting is just going to screw into the bottom of your tie rod end, and then your cotter pin just goes through there and bend it so that bolt doesn't come loose. Then we'll just tighten this up right here a little bit against there so it doesn't move. Throw the tire back on. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Takes all of maybe 10-15 minutes per side, and you've got new tie rods and tighter steering. Rock on. Alright, on to the other side, and here's another tip. So getting ready to pop this one off. So what happens if you don't buy OEM parts? Well, then your thread count might be different on the end of the new ones, and if you count unscrewing, you know, like on the other side I counted 20 times. Well, guess what? I don't have OEM parts. So another way to do this is before you actually remove this. So this is in here right now. Just to be able to get it to somewhere where you can do get an alignment, is look right down the side here. And obviously, since all the weight is off of that, it's going to be tilted out. But you can see where it aligns to. So snap a picture, or just remember where it lines up, and if you get in the same exact spot and you just look down the rotor, the brake rotor right here, then when you screw in the new one, as long as it's lined up like that, it should be really, really close to how it was aligned before you took it off. So let's go ahead and pop this one off. Alrighty, got the last one on. So basically, you just pop that one out like I did on the other side, screw it in, and leave this first bolt a little bit loose. And as you can see, like I just said a minute ago, I just pulled it off, and now it lines up exactly where it did before. And one other thing, before you do that, make sure that you push in your caliper, because with the wheel off, the caliper will wiggle. So that can make a little bit of a difference on the alignment, obviously, but you want to get it as close as you can, so when you're driving to go get the alignment, it's not swerving all over the place. But that should do it. So once you tighten this up, then you just put your safety pin in there through the bolt, and then you want to hold the side of the rack and pinion and then tighten this, because if you're just screwing this outside one, the whole rack and pinion will rotate in there because that is rotating freely. So you want to make sure you hold that while you tighten this one, so that way this doesn't work out, because that's just basically your lock nut. So this won't turn around and basically change your alignment while you're driving. So all we got to do now is got some grease fittings down here. Just pump those up, make sure that they've got plenty of grease in them, and then throw the tires back on, and we're done. So that's all there is to it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you out if you got one of these cars. If it is, don't forget, like and subscribe, all down here, all that fun jazz. Go ahead too, check out one of these videos over here or over here, you might like them. And if you don't want to click the subscribe down there, you can do it right there in the middle. Don't forget, make cool shit. Later.